Hey y'all, it's because Mama said so, and today we're making dinner for a sweet family that just had a new baby, and I'm also going to make dinner for my crew as well. We'll have penne pasta, Caesar salad, and cinnamon rolls. Let's get to it. To start our cinnamon rolls, I'm going to put a cup of oil, 4 cups of milk, and a cup of sugar into a microwave-safe bowl. These are going to go into the microwave for about 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'll give it a nice stir to get everything to combine and then set it aside till it reaches lukewarm temperature. Before then, we'll just leave it setting aside. The oil, sugar, and milk mixture is out of the microwave. I'm going to give it a good stir. It's pretty hot right now, but we need it to cool to lukewarm before we sprinkle the yeast on top. So this will get just set aside. While it's set aside, I'll mix up the dry ingredients that are going to go into my cinnamon rolls. As always, the recipe is at the end of the video so you can see the exact measurements that I'm using. Now that the liquid mixture is lukewarm, I can now sprinkle 2 packages of yeast on top, and then again we'll set it back aside for about 5 to 10 minutes just to let the yeast bloom. While that happens, we'll go ahead and start on our penne pasta. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees, and then I'm going to make my cheese mixture that's going to go in the penne pasta. I'll add about 16 ounces of cottage cheese. I don't know why these containers are so hard to open, but they are. And then I'm going to add about a cup or so of sour cream and 3 eggs. Then we'll go ahead and add parsley, salt, pepper, mozzarella, and Parmesan, and we'll give it a good stir. This filling is absolutely delicious and gives such substance to the penne pasta bake. I've got about 8 to 10 cups of pasta sauce that I had made weeks ago and put in the freezer, and I'm using it now for this recipe. Again, you'll need about 8 to 10 cups depending on how dry your pasta is. I'm using 2 pounds of penne pasta, and then I'm going to mix the pasta sauce into the penne. I'm separating this out into 2 different dishes because, first of all, that bowl is not big enough, and I'm making 2 different batches, so that one for the family and one for my family. So once that's all mixed together, I'm going to add about a cup of the cheese mixture to each of these bowls and give it a stir, and then we'll start the layering process. The penne pasta is in the oven at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes. During the last 5 minutes, I'll go ahead and add another cup of mozzarella and let that gently melt on top. That gives that nice ooey gooey cheese pull that's so delicious. Now I'm mixing the lukewarm milk and yeast mixture into my dry ingredients, and I'm just going to stir them until they're just combined. This is going to be a very sticky dough. It's not perfect, it's not pretty, it's pretty shaggy, but it is absolutely delicious. Once we get this stirred, then this will sit on the stove with plastic wrap over the top for about an hour until it doubles in size. While our dough is rising, I'm going to go ahead and get a head start on the frosting. I have 1 stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, and about a cup of milk that I'm adding to a stand mixer. Then I will add a 2-pound bag of powdered sugar. Now, I will say this, the bowl was kind of cold, so the butter kept kind of seizing back up and turning back into butter from being melted. Don't worry about this, because once you mix it all up and everything, and then you put it on top of hot cinnamon rolls, it all just kind of melts together. My dough has been rising for about an hour, maybe a little over. I kept it warm on the stove because I let the preheated oven create a little bit of a place for it to proof. Now I'm going to add a generous amount of flour to my clean countertop, and I'm going to pull the dough out and place it on top of the flour, and then I'm going to roll it until it's about a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch thick into a long rectangle. This is going to form the base of our cinnamon rolls. I've melted 2 sticks of butter and I'm going to pour them over the dough. Then I'll spread it out with my fingers. Then I'll add 1.5 to 2 cups of sugar to sprinkle evenly over the top, and you'll know that there's enough sugar when the sugar and the butter have kind of completely absorbed each other. Then I'll add a generous sprinkle of cinnamon to the top. At this point you can add nuts, you can add chocolate chips, you can even add bacon, or you can add raisins, whatever you like, but for today I'm making just regular old-fashioned cinnamon rolls. Now we're going to roll up our cinnamon rolls in what the pioneer woman calls the typewriter method, where you go back and forth just tightly rolling the cinnamon rolls until we get a nice big log. Then we'll cut our log into 1-inch pieces and fill our dishes. I have my little helper spraying the dishes with non-stick spray so that way the cinnamon rolls don't stick. These are going to bake in the oven for about 17 minutes. The bigger dish, the big glass dish, will probably take longer, and the small rectangular dish will probably take less time. You just need to keep checking them to make sure that they're completely done in the center, but not overly brown. Here is the penne pasta bake, ooey gooey and cheesy out of the oven, and it's just amazing. Now the cinnamon rolls are out, and I'm going to go ahead and glaze those. We'll drizzle it on over the top and spread it out. And if they're little butter chunks, don't worry about it because those will melt really, really nicely into the hot cinnamon rolls.